Alright, so, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first, I say back as if I've been doing this a couple times, this is the first time, but this is the first of my devlogs for Echo's Gate. We're going to be talking about what the game is, like, a little bit more about the game, because I haven't really talked a ton about the game itself. So we're going to talk a little bit about the game, we're going to talk about where we're at, plans for next month. That's kind of what we're going to do. So first off, what is Echo's Gate? Echo's Gate is a game I started making about the beginning of the new year, and you're going to be playing as this guy called Charles. I've decided to name him Charles. One of my friends suggested it, and I thought it was hilarious, so we're calling him Charles. He's the brother of the Grim Reaper, and he loves coffee, okay? But when he goes to work one day, because he works in the afterlife with the Grim Reaper, and he goes to work one day, and he goes to get some coffee, and, well, there's no coffee. This is a big, big problem, okay? Big problem. So, he decides to man the ferry to take people between the ferry people to the afterlife to pay for some coffee. So that's what he's doing. This whole thing is about him taking souls through the ferry so he can pay for some coffee. I think it's hilarious. So that's what the game's about. You're going to do this by exploring 3 different areas. One is going to be called the Bone Forest, which is the background I'm making right now is for the Bone Forest. I'm thinking there might be a few more backgrounds, but this will be the main, the main background for the Bone Forest. And as you can see, it is not a forest. It is very much a desert, but I thought that was kind of the funny little, there's just a lot of bones. And so I felt like I wanted it to give you kind of the vibe of, being in a forest of bones. And, well, I'm not going to lie. I think it needs a little bit more bones, but at the moment, it's alright. So we'll come back to it later. There's 2 other locations, the pit and the drowned plains. The pit is going to be dark and slimy and gross, and there's going to be dead things in it. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be kind of think sewer vibes mixed with zombie vibes, and it's going to be gross. And then there's the drowned plains, which is going to be quite nice, honestly. I'm hoping it'll be quite peaceful and quite serene. I want it to be it's going to be kind of wet though. So yeah, so those are the 3 locations. You've got the Bone Forest, the Drowned Plains, and the Pit. So you're going to be exploring these and finding the lost souls in each of these areas, taking them back to the main area where the ferry is, and you'll ferry them across the river to the afterlife. Once you've done all 3 of them, the game will be over. It's not going to be a super duper long game. It wasn't meant to be a long game. I have more game ideas, but this is just kind of like a Kickstarter. I haven't really... This game is kind of like the starting point for hopefully a lot more games after this. I have a specific game in mind that I'm really excited to make, but I just need to learn how to do the things that I need to do. So this is kind of like a big learning moment for me, and that's why I'm doing it. It's great. I'm having a blast. It's great, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are, let me know in the comments, and hit the like button to subscribe. It really helps a lot. So, sweet. Okay, where we're at. Currently, I've made a lot of art. I got 8 enemies that I've made and designed. One of them I've started animating, and I think I posted a video about it last week called the Horde walking animation or something like that. And it's basically just kind of a breakdown of how I animated his walk animation. But yeah, so the Horde is I loved that. That was a lot of fun. But I have to animate all the enemies. I have not really animated a lot of the enemies. So all those monsters, I need to make walking animations or flying animations. They also need idle animations, and they need attack animations. So a lot of animating to do next month, but I'm not even sure we're going to do the animating. We'll see, because I have a lot more things that need to get done, but animating is definitely a priority on a lot of the monsters right now. I also made the main character. I animated his walk, his idle, his melee attack, his fireball attack, and I animated his jump. So the main character I made and animated, and that was pretty sweet. I also made 4 tile maps and 6 props. So the tile maps are the main. I made the 4 tile maps for the 4 different areas you're going to be in. The main area where the ferry is, and then the 3 locations. So the Bone Forest, the Drowned Plains, and the pit. So they're not quite done. I need to finesse them a little bit, but they're made. So that's the good stuff. And then on top of that, I made some props. So it's like some rocks and some logs and things that just to scatter around and break up the patterns and things so it doesn't look so monotonous. Those are some of the things that we did this week, or this month, I should say. Besides that, I started the Godot stuff. I started putting things into Godot, and I started doing a little bit of code. So the main character can walk around and jump and all that stuff, and his melee attack is sort of working. I'm having a hard time getting his melee attack to actually like show up when I attack with it in game. For some reason, it doesn't show up. You can see the animating starts, but it's not fully playing out the whole animation. So because of that, I'm reworking the animation system for him. So he's kind of broken right now, but yeah. So hopefully that can get fixed soon. That's gonna be a priority for next month. Besides that, I also got the Horde into the game, and currently he has a wandering state and a pursuing state. And the wandering state is working, and the pursuing state activates, but I'm having trouble getting him to track the player's position so that he will continue to follow the player no matter where the player is. He knows initially where the player is, but the problem is he needs to figure out when the player has jumped over him and is now going to the other side, so he can turn around and follow the player. So having a little trouble with that, but that's definitely something we're working on. Besides that, I haven't done a lot with the actual code. A lot of this month has been just art, just getting art down and planning out the game a little bit. So yeah, so that's what we did this month. Next month, I really hope, or this upcoming month, I should say, I'm really hoping to just get a lot of the code for the main character and that first enemy, the Horde, done. I'm hoping to get them fully coded. So it's going to be a little bit, but I'm hoping to get them finished before the end of this month. Those 2 things are my goals for the code. Because if I can get them working, I feel like I can get the rest of the enemies working a lot easier. Besides that, for art, I'm hoping to get all the backgrounds done. I'd also like to get some of the enemies, starting to animate them. Because there's a lot of enemies that need animating. And then I'd like to keep working on props. I don't want to do too much more in the way of new things, but I'd like to start iterating and animating and adding to what we already have. I just don't want to add I don't want to introduce new stuff this upcoming month because we've laid out so much initial stuff. It's a lot of stuff to keep track of, and it's gonna become quickly too much for me as a 1-person team currently to handle. I do have a friend who's gonna start laying out some level design this month, so hopefully that goes well, and I'll be able to show you guys a little bit of that. But at the moment, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're enjoying coming along with me and watching this as we're slowly putting it together. It's going to be a little bit before there's anything significant to show. I'm not great at coding, so I'm winging it a little bit. But yeah, if you guys have any tips or people to watch that can help me with that, let me know in the comments. I'd love it. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. It helps a lot. And have a great day. Bye-bye!